this morning we're going to be talking about visualization. Good morning, loves. Happy Monday. Hope everybody is ready for their week. I am, mostly. It's a beautiful morning and there's no wind today. Usually up at my house there's a good chance of wind. So, fabulous. Here we are. Oh, okay. So, visualization. This is a tip that a lot of people use, and it actually works. And I can say that it actually works because I've used it. It's crazy to me. Oh yes, and you'll hear a lot of birds while we're out on my deck. There are all kinds of birds, which is so lovely. Except for when they fight with each other. That's not so lovely. But, so, yes, this morning we're going to be talking about visualization. And so I started practicing this, I would say probably at least 7 years ago. And I didn't really put a whole lot of stock in it. I just thought, well, what the heck? It was part of a guided meditation that I was doing at the time. And it asks that you visualize your perfect day. And so I really liked the guided meditation that I was listening to, so I listened to it pretty much every night. And it was something that I did in the evenings before I would go to sleep, because I used to work super, super early. I had to go to work at like 4 a.m., and so sleep was really important to me, and I found that this guided meditation helped me not just get to sleep faster, but helped me sleep better. So that's when I really started practicing visualization consistently. And the crazy thing about it is that I didn't realize how powerful that was going to be until I started seeing it show up in my life. And I was like, that's kind of cool. So I started practicing visualizing situations more and more. And so today, I do it all the time without thinking. It's just something that I have created a routine with. So yes, I can tell you firsthand, visualization is awesome. I would love to hear your guys' experience with visualizing the things that you want in life and how that worked for you. Sometimes I notice that it's not verbatim exactly what I was visualizing, and sometimes it is. So at least it gives me practice experiencing things, which is really cool, because the book that I just finished reading, The Power of Habit, which is a great book, if you are analyzing your own habits and you are looking at changing or increasing better habits, then I highly recommend that you go read this book. But one of the chapters talks about Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, and part of his training was to visualize like a million different scenarios. From the time he was really young, his coach had him visualize all the different things that could potentially go wrong in a race. And so that was his homework every day, is to go home and visualize all these things before bed. And during one of his Olympic swims, his goggles actually got bumped and they were letting in water. And so he had to swim the whole race blind. So as a swimmer, it's really important that you can see the marks on the bottom of the pool, so that way you know when to turn around, and also being able to kind of see the people around you, so that way you have a sense of how well you're doing and compared to everybody else. So he had to swim this whole race blind, and he ended up, breaking a world record and obviously winning that race. And he was asked later, how did it feel to swim blind? And he said it felt exactly how I imagined it would. So he had spent time practicing visualizing all the different things that could happen, and then he was prepared. So visualization, did you like that? It almost came out. It was almost there. Visualization is a really, really good tool, especially if you're trying to shift your life in big ways. And it might take some time before you're in that scenario. Like, I visualize things, like I said, 7 years ago. And maybe a year or two ago, I started really seeing them show up in my life. So it's not an instant thing. It's something that you need to practice. and it's something that you need to do consistently. But if you do, if you put in the work and you put in the time and you really try to hone in on what it is you want, then it will work. I've seen it. I promise you. I promise you, my loves. Just keep with it. So I hope that you guys have a fabulous day. And I'd love to hear about your guys' visualizations and how you use that, and maybe start a discussion on that, because I'd love to see that and see how it works for everybody else. In the meantime, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to start on my first cup of coffee for the day, because it is very much needed. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I did a live stream before my first cup of coffee. And my baby's awake. He's standing at the sliding door, just watching me. Alright, my loves. Have a good day. Ciao, ciao.